Hello, dear students. We started with Chapter 9, The Earth, Our Habitat, in Social Science during the last lecture. Today we will continue with this chapter, but let's revise first what we have studied till now. We started with the solar system. Solar system, the sun is the center of the solar system, and there are various rocks and stars in the solar system. Solar system is a part of the Mandakini galaxy or the Milky Way. Sun is a self-illuminated star. It is a star which lights up by itself. And there are various rocks which surround the sun, which rotate around the sun. And various such rocks are called planets. We studied about the different planets, and the common thing about these planets is that they are lightened up by the energy from sun. Then we studied about the facts about the sun, like the sun is 13 million times larger than Earth. It is 150 million kilometers away from Earth. Then the sun is the source of energy for all the organisms. It is called the guardian of the organisms. And about the gravitational force. Sun's gravitational force is 28 times more than that of Earth. And just like Earth, all the other planets also have their own gravitational force. Due to the gravitational force of the sun and the gravitational force of the planets rotate around the sun. And all the planets, satellites, comets, meteors, they all are a part of the solar system. Then we studied individually about all the planets. After studying about the planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. After studying about all these planets, we studied about meteors. Meteors, which we consider as falling stars or shooting stars, they are actually rocks in the sky which are pulled towards Earth due to its gravitational force. And because of the friction created, they burn up and that light can be seen. These are meteors. And if the rock is not completely burnt up, it falls on Earth as meteorites. And after that, we studied about constellations. Constellations or nakshatra. Any set of stars or even a single star is constellation. These constellations have specific shapes and they always remain in that same shape. There are 27 such constellations, and we studied about them. Like some of them have auspicious, some of them are considered auspicious. Like the Pushya Nakshatra is considered good for buying of gold or silver. Now let's start with the location and shape of Earth. Now here there is a picture of a broken pot. In the broken pot, when we take one piece of the pot, can we judge like this piece is not completely round, but it's a bit kind of straight or flat. So from that we cannot say that this piece belongs to a sphere or a pot which is circular. Same way, when we look at the land, take for example the whole land or the whole city. If we look at the land, we will feel like this is flat or this is straight. But we never feel like we are standing on a sphere. But it's just a part of the earth. So just as we cannot judge the shape of the pot from the broken piece, we cannot judge the shape from the part of land which we see. Same way, so the earth is spherical. Earlier, people used to think that earth is flat, but scientists, astronauts have went up to the space, and from the pictures that they have taken, we can see that Earth is spherical. Now, in that also, Earth is not a perfect sphere, not like a perfect ball, but it's kind of like the shape of an orange. In an orange, if you keep that on a table, you can see that orange is not going to roll away. Why? Because the poles, the top and bottom are a bit flat and it is broader from the center part. Same way, in Earth also, the North Pole and South Pole are a bit flat and the center or the equator is larger than the polar circle. Now, to study about the Earth, a globe is made. In the globe, understand the Earth. It is considered as a circular device. And on that circle, the map is drawn with the continents, the countries, the oceans, all those things are printed on the map and it is pasted on that circle. And from the globe, we can make out that the Earth is tilted on one side. We have seen the globe last year as well, and for the exact measurements, latitudes and longitudes what we have studied last year, they are also drawn. These imaginary lines are drawn for the exact measurement of the globe or the Earth. Next we will study about the pole star or the North Star. Now, students, you remember the story of the birth of Jesus Christ. How did the three kings reach to the shepherd, to the place where Jesus was born? They were following the star. It was the North Star or the pole star. That star is always steady at its place and it is always in the north direction. When you are facing north, that star which is constant, that is the North Star. And still, if we need to find the North Star, we can find it with the help of the Saptarishi constellation. The 7 stars, from that, the 2 stars which are pointing to that bright star, that is the North Star. Now, as the North Star is always steady, it's not moving, it can be seen only from the northern hemisphere. And earlier, when the compass was not there, navigators or the sailors, they used to navigate, they used to find the direction with the help of the North Star at night. Latitude and longitudes. Now students, I'm sure you must be remembering this from last year, the imaginary lines on the surface of the Earth, which cannot be seen on the Earth, but they are drawn on the map. Those are latitudes and longitudes. Let's study in detail about these. You know which are the horizontal lines and which are the vertical lines. Let's start with latitude. Latitude, leti hui line. The horizontal imaginary line drawn on the Earth's surface are called latitudes. There are 181 latitudes. 0 degree latitude is the equator right in the center of the Earth and 180 other latitudinal line. Now, previously we were calling it parallels, the lines parallel to the equator. Those parallels are called latitudinal line, the east-west circle connecting the places found on the Earth in the northern or southern hemisphere at equal distance from equator are called latitudinal lines. Now, you know the equator. The top part is the northern hemisphere and the below part, bottom part is the southern hemisphere. So the east-west circle connecting the places found on Earth. Suppose you are starting from 30 degree. So that east to west circle, that is the latitudinal line. or what we previously used to call parallels. Now let's revise about the longitudes. The vertical imaginary lines drawn on the surface of the earth are called longitudes. The vertical lines, they are called longitudes, and they meet each other at the poles, at the North Pole and at the South Pole. There are 360 longitudes, and these longitudes become closer to each other when they come near the poles. Unlike latitudes, they used to go parallel, but these longitudes, they meet each other at the poles. And among all the longitudes, 0-degree longitude, that is prime meridian, and 180-degree longitude, that is 180th meridian. Those are important. We will study in detail immediately now. Now, these longitudes are called linear circle. We used to call them meridians, but they are same. So what is in the linear circle? The north-south straight line connecting the imaginary surface of the original linear to the Earth's axis at the same angular distance along the Earth's surface is called linear circle. So, the semicircles which run from north to south, these semicircles, these straight lines which connect to the Earth's axis, those imaginary lines are called linear circle, or what we used to say meridians. Now let's study about the major latitudes. We have studied this last year as well, but let's just revise. 0-degree is the equator, the center of the earth, and equator divides the earth into two spheres, hemisphere, half of spheres. So the part which is on the north of the equator is called the northern hemisphere, and the hemisphere that is to the south of the equator is called southern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, at 23.5-degree north latitude, we have Tropic of Cancer. We remember that Tropic of Cancer passes through India. And at 66.5-degree north latitude, we have the Arctic Circle. And at the 90-degree north latitude, we have the North Pole. Similarly, to the south of the equator, at 23.5 degrees south, we have Tropic of Capricorn, and at 66.5 degrees south, we have Antarctic Circle, and at 90 degrees south, we have the South Pole. Next, we are going to study about the global positioning system. Now, you know GPS. All the phones are smartphones and they have internet connection. So, we can know the location of any place or any region with the help of GPS. But how do these GPS work? This global positioning system. They work on the basis of latitudes and longitudes. So the longitudes, the major longitudes, which are they? We have studied about the 0-degree longitude or the prime meridian. That is the line for Greenwich Mean Time line. That is the GMT line. The 0-degree longitude or the prime meridian. The 0-degree longitude which passes through Greenwich City of England is called Greenwich line. 0-degree longitude. It passes through the Greenwich City of England. Hence, it is named Greenwich line. Greenwich line divides the earth into two equal parts from east to west, which is known as the eastern hemisphere and western hemisphere. As the equator divides the earth into northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, the prime meridian or the Greenwich line divides the earth into eastern hemisphere, the part which is to the east of the prime meridian or the Greenwich line, and the western hemisphere, the part which is to the west of the Greenwich line. The longitudes up to 180 degree east of Greenwich line are called eastern longitudes, and the longitudes up to 180 degree west of Greenwich line are called western longitudes. So we know the longitude, 0 degree longitude is the prime meridian or the Greenwich line. So from 0 to 180 degree east, those are eastern longitudes, and from 0 to 180 degree west are called western longitudes. So this was something new, and I wish that you will remember this forever. Nowadays also, whenever we see the time of different countries, the time is measured with GMT plus some hours, or GMT plus or minus 3, GMT plus or minus 2. So what is that? The GMT, the Greenwich Mean Time. Here the time is considered to be 0, and not 0 but plus 3 hours. It's compared to the standard time. This is the standard time, and accordingly the time is measured worldwide. So after studying about the time, the Greenwich Mean Time line, let's study about the International Date line. The GMT line was 0 degree longitude, and the International Date line is 180 degree longitude. This line is drawn on the earth. Now we can see in the picture that it is not a straight line, but it's going zigzag kind of way, and it is drawn in the water body. I mean, it's drawn along the ocean. Why is it like the 180 degree longitude is a straight line, but if any country is passing, if the longitude is passing through some country, the time will be different, the dates will be different in the same country, so which will create confusion. That's why it is drawn accordingly. We can see that this International Date line, it passes through the Pacific Ocean. And what happens is, like, if we go towards the west of the date line, we need to add one more day, and if we go towards the east of the date line, we have to subtract one day. The days are different in that way. So that was the major latitudes. Now let's study about the tropics or zones. We have studied in detail about these zones on the earth. We'll just revise what we have already studied. Now here from the picture we can see that there is equator at 0 degree, the Tropic of Cancer at 23.5 degree north, the Tropic of Capricorn at 23.5 degrees south, and the Arctic Circle at 66.5 degree north, and Antarctic Circle at 66.5 degree south. So according to this, there are zones, there are regions. What happens is, like, the region which gets the maximum heat, that is the torrid zone or the tropical zone. We studied just now only that this is the region which gets the maximum sun rays. So that is the torrid zone or the tropical zone. Then we have the temperate zone, the 23.5 degree north to 66.5 degree north in the northern hemisphere, and 23.5 degree south to 66.5 degree south. That is the temperate zone. This is the zone which has moderate heat or cold. It's neither too hot nor too cold. So that is the temperate zone in the northern as well as in the southern hemisphere. And then we have the frigid zone, which is literally freezing, which has excessive cold, the polar zones, the one in the North Pole and in the South Pole. The region from 66.5 degree to 90 degree north as well as 66.5 to 90 degree south. Those are the frigid zones. So that's it for today. Students, I won't recommend you to go through your textbook, but I would want you to revise the previous as well as this video. Let me know if you have any doubts by commenting in the section below, and I'll try to solve those in the next video. Till then, just revise the videos and just take care and enjoy your days.